Okay, real talk. You just spent $247 at the grocery store, walked out with 3 bags, and now you're sitting in your car thinking, what the hell did I even buy? Yeah, I see you. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. You're not bad with money. You're not irresponsible. You're just playing a rigged game that grocery stores spent billions of dollars designing to separate you from your cash. That watermelon you grabbed? Marked up 75% because someone cut it. That bottle of water? 4,000% markup? 4,000%. And that smell that made you suddenly need a muffin? Literally pumped through the air by a machine. I'm about to expose 12 grocery store tricks that are draining $1,500 from your bank account every single year. And honestly, after you hear this, you're gonna be pissed. Let's go. Look, if you're wondering why you're always broke even though you're not even spending that much, I need you to understand something. Grocery stores are not your friends. They're not cute little neighborhood markets trying to feed families. They're profit extraction machines designed by behavioral psychologists who studied exactly how to make you buy stuff you don't need. And they're really good at it. Last year, food prices went up 2.8%. Cool. Except grocery store profits went up way more than that. Way more. While you're out here doing mental math in the cereal aisle trying to figure out if you can afford the good almond milk, CEOs are literally high-fiving over record earnings. The average American family throws away over $1,500 a year on grocery store purchases that are completely unnecessary. Not luxury items, not organic caviar, regular groceries that feel normal but are actually psychological traps. And the craziest part? Most people will watch this video, nod along, and then change absolutely nothing. So here's my question for you. Are you actually going to do something different? Or are you just here for entertainment? Because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you feel some type of way. Alright, let's start with the most obvious scam that somehow still works. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. Last week I saw a container of pre-cut watermelon for $6.99. Right next to it, a whole watermelon for $3.99. Same size, same fruit, except one was chopped up. You're paying almost double because someone spent 5 minutes with a knife. But I'm busy. Yeah, so is everyone else. We're all busy. You know what takes longer than cutting a watermelon? Working the extra hour you'll need to afford that markup. On average, pre-cut produce costs 40% more. 40%. And here's the kicker. It's actually worse for you. The second produce is cut. It starts losing nutrients, drying out under those fluorescent lights, and going bad faster. So you're paying more for worse food. Congratulations. Want to know what grocery store executives are terrified of? You spending 20 minutes on a Sunday meal prepping. Put on a show, grab a cutting board, and prep your week. Not only is it cheaper and fresher, but it's honestly kind of therapeutic once you get into it. Or, and this blows people's minds, go to the frozen aisle. Frozen fruits and veggies are picked at peak ripeness, flash frozen, already chopped, cost 60% less, and last for months. But grocery stores hate when you figure this out because it destroys their profit margins. Okay, this next one genuinely makes me angry. Bottled water. First of all, you're paying $2 for something that costs about 5 cents to produce. That's a 4,000% markup. Not 40%, not 400%, 4,000. But wait, it gets worse. A recent study from Columbia and Rutgers found that the average bottle of water contains about 240,000 microscopic plastic particles. 250,000 pieces of plastic floating in every bottle. And these aren't just plastic. Scientists are now finding these particles in human lungs, breast milk, and even placental tissue, meaning we're literally feeding plastic to babies before they're born. And you know what's even more insane? Bottled water often has more plastic contamination than tap water. So you're paying 4,000% more to drink water that's worse for you than what comes out of your sink for basically free. The solution is stupidly simple. Spend $30 on a water filter, grab a reusable bottle, and stop poisoning yourself while going broke. But sure, keep buying Dasani if you love Coca-Cola that much. This one's going to mess with your head. You know that amazing smell when you walk past the bakery section? The one that makes you suddenly crave cookies even though you weren't even hungry? Yeah, that's not real baking. Major grocery chains literally use scent machines that pump fake bakery smells throughout the store. I'm not making this up. When researchers tested this, bakery sales tripled just from the artificial smell. Tripled. They're not tempting you. They're chemically hijacking your brain. And those fresh-baked cookies? 60% profit margin. You hand them $4, they pocket $2.40. You know what smart people do? they hit up the day-old bakery section. Same exact cookies, 50% off, still delicious. Or they buy a $2 box of brownie mix that makes the same amount as a $12 bakery tray. But here's what really gets me. Some stores actually pump dessert scents like cheesecake into the air just to trigger impulse buys. This is literally psychological warfare, and your wallet is losing. Spices. Oh man, spices. I bought a tiny bottle of McCormick oregano last week for $3.49. Same amount at an Indian grocery store? 37 cents. That's not a typo. That's almost a 1,000% price difference for the exact same spice. And here's what makes it worse. Those cute little spice jars at regular grocery stores have been sitting there for months, maybe years. By the time you buy them, the flavor's gone. You're basically sprinkling expensive dust on your food. Meanwhile, ethnic markets, Indian, Middle Eastern, Asian grocery stores, are selling spices that were imported weeks ago, not years ago. They're fresher, stronger, and cost literally a fraction of the price. The global spice market is worth almost $30 billion and growing at 9% a year. But grocery chains keep pushing old, overpriced bottles because most people don't know better. Here's your move. Walk past the spice aisle at regular stores. Find your nearest ethnic market. Buy whole spices when you can. They last longer and taste better. Buy in bulk and store them in airtight containers. That $3 bottle of oregano? At the right store, that same money could last you a year. Let's talk about the organic trap. The organic food industry is worth over $52 billion, and you're paying about 20% more for anything with that little green label. But here's what nobody tells you. Organic only matters for specific foods. The Environmental Working Group releases a Dirty Dozen list every year. These are foods that are absolutely loaded with pesticides, like strawberries, which can have up to 23 different chemicals even after washing. For those? Yeah, buy organic. But then there's the Clean 15. Foods like avocados, sweet corn, and pineapple, where less than 2% of samples showed any pesticides. People are out here paying extra for organic avocados when there's literally no benefit. If you strategically buy organic only for the Dirty Dozen and conventional for the Clean 15, you cut your organic bill in half while getting the same health benefits. But the organic industry doesn't want you to know this because information asymmetry is how they make money. Fun fact, some of those pesticides are just cosmetic chemicals applied after harvest to keep produce looking shiny under store lights. You're paying more to avoid chemicals that are literally just for aesthetics. Single-serve snacks. Good lord. I watched someone spend $47 on individual snack packs last week. If she'd bought the same snacks in bulk, it would have been $18. That's a 161% markup just because someone else divided the food into smaller bags. A box of individual goldfish crackers costs about $9 for 10 ounces. The family-size bag? $4.49 for 30 ounces. You're paying almost 600% more per ounce for packaging. And people justify this by saying, portion control. Are we serious right now? You need a billion-dollar snack company to teach you how to count crackers? Buy a $5 set of reusable containers, portion the snacks yourself, and stop letting corporations assume you're incapable of basic math. Families who switch from single-serve to bulk save over $800 a year. That's not pocket change, that's a car payment. Pre-marinated meat is one of my biggest pet peeves. You see those glossy packages of teriyaki chicken or honey garlic pork? They cost about 60% more than plain meat. A pound of regular chicken, $4.99. Same chicken with sauce poured on it, $7.99. You're paying an extra $3 because someone spent 30 seconds adding marinade that cost maybe 50 cents to make. But the markup isn't even the worst part. These marinades are usually loaded with sodium, sometimes over 800 milligrams per serving. That's more than a third of your daily limit in one piece of meat. Why so much salt? Because sodium is cheap, makes food taste better, and literally makes you crave more. Making your own marinade takes about 3 minutes. Olive oil, soy sauce, garlic, maybe some honey. Mix it. Toss your meat in a bag. Done. You just saved $3 and cut your sodium in half. And honestly, homemade tastes way better because it's made with fresh ingredients, not sauce that's been sitting in plastic for who knows how long. Superfoods. Oh boy, here's something that'll blow your mind. The FDA has never recognized the term superfood. It's not a scientific category. It's literally just marketing. But slap that word on a bag and suddenly companies can charge 3 times more. An 8-ounce bag of goji berries, $12.95 at Walmart. That's over $25 per pound. Regular blueberries with the same antioxidants, $4 per pound. Over the past 4 years, use of superfood in marketing jumped 300%. Not because these foods got healthier, because marketing budgets got bigger. Here's the irony. In China, goji berries are just berries. You can buy them cheap at local markets. But once they cross the Pacific and get repackaged with trendy labels, they're suddenly worth their weight in gold. The real nutritional powerhouses are boring foods you already know. Spinach, carrots, sweet potatoes, regular berries. No flashy labels required. Let's talk about liquid financial suicide. One energy drink, $3.50. One fancy coffee, $5. You just spent $8.50 before 9 a.m. Do that 3 times a week and you're burning through $1,326 a year. And that energy drink? It has up to 78 grams of sugar, 3 times your daily limit. You're not getting energy. You're getting a sugar crash that'll make you buy another one. The energy drink industry rebranded as wellness by adding vitamins to sugar water. It's marketing sleight of hand. Meanwhile, that $5 Starbucks cold brew. A container of ground coffee costs $10 and makes 100 cups. That's 10 cents per cup at home versus $5 at the cafe. That's a 5,000% markup. I know someone who spent $15 a day on energy drinks and coffee runs. Over $5,000 a year. He thought he was treating himself. He was buying a used car in liquid form. Making cold brew at home takes 5 minutes. Coffee grounds, cold water, let it sit overnight, done. Or here's a wild idea. Sleep better and drink water. Individual yogurt cups are a sneaky one. A 6-pack of Greek yogurt cups, $8.99. You just paid almost $15 per pound for yogurt. That same yogurt in a large tub, $4.50 per pound. You're paying up to 5 times more just for pre-portioned dairy. If you eat 1 yogurt cup per day, you're throwing away $300 extra every year compared to buying large tubs. But portion control. Get a $2 reusable container and portion it yourself. Plus, large containers create way less plastic waste. Specialty diet foods. This is where I get genuinely irritated. A jar of keto-friendly peanut butter, $11. Ingredients: peanuts and salt. Regular peanut butter with peanuts and salt, $3.50. Triple the price for the exact same thing just because they slapped a diet buzzword on it. The specialty diet market grew 40% in 2 years. Companies are taking regular food, adding trendy labels, and charging 2 to 3 times more. You don't need specialty products to follow keto or paleo. You need real whole foods that already fit those diets naturally. Eggs, meat, vegetables, cheese. These foods already work. No special branding needed. I know someone who spent $200 a month on Whole30 approved products. Next round, she bought regular whole foods and read ingredient labels. Same results. Monthly cost dropped to $75. That's $1,500 saved in 1 year just by ignoring marketing. Here's the real final boss. Convenience itself. Every single product we've talked about exists because grocery stores figured out that exhausted, busy people will pay extraordinary premiums to save even 5 minutes, and they're right. But here's what they're counting on. You never doing the math. They're betting you won't spend 20 minutes on Sunday prepping produce. They're betting you won't make your own marinade in 3 minutes. They're betting you won't buy a water filter or reusable containers. They're betting on your exhaustion, and for most people, it works. Look, I'm not here to shame you. Life is hard. We're all tired. I get it. But I need you to understand that these aren't small amounts. $1,500 a year is a vacation. It's an emergency fund. It's paying off debt. It's investing in something that actually matters. And you're handing it over to grocery stores for convenience that takes minutes to replicate yourself. The families who figure this out don't become extreme couponers or meal prep influencers. They just make a few strategic swaps. They buy whole produce and spend 10 minutes chopping. They make marinades. They skip bottled water. They read ingredient labels on superfood products. Small changes, massive impact. Here's what I want you to do. Next time you're at the grocery store, pick just 3 convenience items you normally buy. Compare them to the whole or bulk version. Calculate the difference. Then come back here and drop your savings in the comments. I want to see the collective money we're keeping away from corporate profit margins this month. If this opened your eyes, if you felt seen, heard, or even a little bit angry, hit that subscribe button. I'm breaking down systems designed to keep you broke every single week. And share this with someone who keeps saying they don't know why they're always out of money. They need to see this. Your wallet will thank you. Your future self will thank you. Now, go reclaim your $1,500. I'll see you in the next one.